Welcome to The Toast. I'm your host of The Toast, your newscast with all your wedding news. I'm Antr'chelle. Welcome back, friends. We have a great show lined up for you today. I know everyone has heard of cocktail hour, but what if you can warm up the evening with a bonfire? Now, this is perfect for a winter wedding. The Bonfire Happy Hour is ideal for a rustic wedding or an earthy touch to any style venue. Here are a few of the ideal elements of what we're dubbing as the Bonfire Cocktail Hour. This can mean spiked hot chocolate, hard cider ale, and a smoky bonfire, old-fashioned. These elements can create a sense of comfort for guests next to the beautiful blazing fire. S'mores, of course. S'mores are a quintessential bonfire snack, and this is your time to have the s'mores bar of your childhood dreams. If you want to keep it classy and less messy, you can step it up with the more sophisticated version of s'mores to keep your attendees' attire clean. Campfire themed hors d'oeuvres. The amount of options that you have with the bonfire area, from smoky sausages and grilled corn to deviled eggs and mini kebabs, not to mention the mouth-watering dips that suit the theme. This is a great way to include some unique cocktail hour appetizers. Let's talk about Ariana Grande's intimate wedding. Ariana Grande got married to multi-million-dollar real estate agent Dalton Gomez. Ariana held an intimately private wedding at her Los Angeles home, and everything was just as regal as you would expect. Less than 20 guests gathered at her home and were greeted with flowers suspended from the ceilings and ample candles to set the romantic mood. Grande wore a low-back classic white gown with a shoulder-length tulle veil adorned with a ribbon bow. Her dress was elegant and lily white, styled by the fabulous Antre'chelle. Her timeless pearl ring was made from her late grandfather's tie pin, which is such a beautiful gesture. Ari wore an asymmetrical dangling pearl earrings to match her engagement ring to pull together her Hepburn-inspired aesthetic. Smaller, family, and close friend-only weddings are becoming more popular. This just goes to show how glamorous a more intimate affair can be when tying the knot with the love of your life. That's all. Kiara B went viral on TikTok recently for saving thousands of dollars by going the alternative route for her wedding. This budget-friendly wedding landed her an interview with Good Morning America and various other media outlets. Instead of spending a few thousands on her wedding dress, she opted for a $47 Shein dress that saved her a bunch. She also had a few other frugal ways. The cake, flower petals, and floor runner were gifted to one, while they spent $230 on a triangle-shaped arch. The $76 for about 30 chairs. After the ceremony, everyone went to a local restaurant and paid for their own meal. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a dress because I had the mindset I'm just going to wear this one time for a few hours, Kiara said to People magazine. Regardless of the price, Kiara had the wedding of her dreams for a fraction of the cost. The story was well received by the internet with supportive comments and other women hinting at possibly doing the same thing. The couple spent under $500 for the entire day, including her dress and his tux. Kiara appreciated her intimate and modest ceremony. She hopes to inspire other people to spend less on their wedding. Should your maid of honor be at your beck and call? Your maid of honor is supposed to have your back during the entire wedding process. But a lot of women have been kind of overbearing to their bridesmaids in the past by demanding things that may be considered a little extreme, if you will. There have been instances of bridezillas terrorizing their court with things like creating a list of unreasonable demands, insulting the child of one of the bridesmaids, being so demanding to a point where a girl walked out, and forcing wedding court members to sign contracts. Some women have even been forced to come out of their pocket for thousands of dollars for over-the-top bachelorette party vacations, resulting in maxed-out credit cards. One woman even insisted that all of her bridesmaids get $500 towards her Hawaiian honeymoon, and on top of that, they must be a size 8. Child. Last year, a woman exposed her former friend for heartlessly kicking her out of the wedding with a text message that read, "I wasn't expecting you to get cancer and lose your hair." Baby! It is always important to make sure that you are remaining graceful as a bride-to-be. Now make sure that if you are going to assign someone the role of Maid of Honor, you don't make it a nightmare for them, or at least as bad as these women have made it for their participants of their wedding court. Many people would cringe at the idea of a courthouse wedding, but what if I told you that there was a way that you could make it fabulous? There has been a sudden uprising in courthouse weddings, and people are doing it in style. Wearing an elegant dress and planning a photo shoot to commemorate the day is mandatory. Just because it's at the courthouse doesn't mean it can't be glamorous and tasteful. Some brides opt for alternative attire like sleek jumpsuits and classy two-pieces. Also, you can send invitations to the people you love and book a photographer. Flowers are a must because your pretty bouquet will make the day feel real. Then, make sure to put together a collection of songs to honor your day. Lastly, the best part of having such a small and concise wedding is the reception potential. After saving time, energy, and money on your wedding ceremony, it's time to turn it up with all of your family and friends with an amazing reception party. This post-wedding celebration will top off your perfect courthouse wedding day. Typically, vows are just between the bride and groom, but it can be a family affair when you incorporate everyone who is immediate family or close friends into your vows. Whether it be a loving mother-in-law, an accepting sister, or an adorable stepkid, family vows are pretty dang cute. One of the most beautiful elements of the wedding is the giving away ceremony, and that can be the perfect time to deliver one of these vows. Switch it up with maybe even having someone sing a song, read a poem, or tell a funny story from your childhood. May you and all of your guests cherish these moments. If anyone in your family has stage fright, then you can go the extra mile in your own vows and mention them to make them feel special. It is heartwarming to display a sense of unity, and you will never forget the exchange of those meaningful words on your wedding day. Including all of the people you love will only make it that more special. And welcome back to The Toast. I'm your host of The Toast, Antr'chelle, your wedding news show for all of your wedding needs. We are here at the most beautiful micro venue I've ever been to in my life. Actually, it's the first micro venue I've ever been to in my life at 1348 Heights. We're here with Summer and Jazz. Hey, ladies. So let's talk about the phrase micro venue. Tell us about that.
Most people will say it's any type of venue or event that's under 30 people. Now here at 1348, we focus on 20 and under. So we're a little bit more on the micro venue side.
And given with the recent developments of the pandemic or even trying to come out and be safe, I would imagine that you guys are the most popular wedding venue in Houston. Am I right or am I right?
Well, I will say, I mean, we opened this place or bought this place in September of 2019. We did about 3 months of renovations and we're just soft opening when COVID hit. And I always say, if you're going to start a new business in the middle of a pandemic, a micro venue is not a bad choice to make, as it's definitely exploded in the past year or two.
I mean, I started hearing more different developments on like mini monies, micro elopements, true elopements. So I think that word elopement is starting to change. So I think that, having a venue like this is quite unique and special for somebody that wants to have a beautiful surrounding, but having a very intimate event.
Hello, and welcome to 1348. Here you're in our parlor space. This is where we can do some wedding ceremonies, depending if you're going for the more boho look. And also you can see all the great products that we make. So here you can see our embroidered hat line. One of our owners, Jessica, she focuses on fabrics and embroidery. And so this is some of her lovely work that she does. We also do dried florals. So this is what I focus on. And so for weddings specifically, we have some amazing bridal hats where we have half sprays, we have full sprays, and we have full crowns. And so we really have lots of different options depending on the bride and the look that you're going for. All right, so now we're gonna continue the tour and move over into our sitting room.
It seemed like all the stars aligned for everything to happen for you guys to start opening in the middle of a pandemic. Like, you guys are owning that particular market. So let's talk about the 1348 Heights bride. What can a micro venue bride look for at your facility?
Well, we offer several different options depending on what people are looking for. We really try to be the easy button and cater to all brides, right? So we have anything between a DIY bride that's really looking at a tight budget but wants something better than a courthouse, right? And so they can come in, they can rent just the space, they can decorate everything themselves, keep it simple, and keep the budget low. All the way to, we have brides that want an amazing experience but want it for a smaller group, maybe COVID concerns, right? Or just want the people that are most important to their lives really there for them. And with that, we offer full experience design services. And so we do everything, right? So they come in, we do concept designs to figure out exactly the color scheme and the look that they're going for. And then we manage the budget, we come up with vendors that we bring in, do custom design work for them, and setup, breakdown, etc. Right? So everything, they come in and they just have an amazing experience and we've handled it for them.
I think what you'll find in common, whether you're a DIY bride or an elaborate bride, is that I think from COVID, people are really wanting more human connection and they realize how important that is. So when you're coming to a micro event and you're having a micro wedding, I think it's being able to balance that special moment, but being able to talk and have those intimate conversations with people and having a really important tailored event to them.
Ladies, you guys are all up my alley right now, and I'm not even a micro bride. So what type of challenges can you say that you guys have faced? And I know you guys just opened in the beginning of the pandemic, but now, you've kind of gotten your bearings. What are some challenges you think you can say that you faced in doing this?
I would say one that maybe we're all facing out here is definitely supply chains. And
Yes.
some of these things, again, we pride ourselves on having some things unique and tailored. So when you're trying to source these materials, it's very challenging. So you have to have longer lead times, and brides need to be a little bit more versatile to understand that sometimes you might not have the exact thing that you want, but we can find something close to it.
Welcome to the sitting room. This is one of our most popular areas to host a ceremony when we're doing it inside. So with our beautiful antique fireplace, this is a fantastic place for couples to get married with their loved ones, under 20 people sitting around them. So now we're gonna make our way to the kitchen.
Very good. As you know, the average time to plan a wedding is maybe 6 months to a year. Is that the same with the micro venue?
Not at all. In fact, that's one of the benefits. And actually what we often see, especially early on in the pandemic, people were having to rapidly make decisions where they had planned something larger and then were having to change their plans, and they still wanted to get married, they still wanted to do something special, but they didn't want to wait. And so a lot of times we're doing planning maybe 3 months in advance. And in fact, if a bride reaches out to us, a lot of times we may do some initial stuff, but we really don't go heads down working with them for about 3 months in advance. It's one of the benefits of doing micro is that it is less stress. It's less you have to worry about. It's less you have to do. And the whole point is that most of our brides really want something simple, special, but simple, right? And
Yes.
so that's what we offer.
And quality, I would say there. So you can spend your budget on something different. So you can elevate your food, you can elevate the type of flowers that you have, and I think that again makes it so special.
You guys talk about niche, you talk about unique experiences. We cannot ignore these beautiful embroidered hats that we're sitting behind and sitting in front of, excuse me, they're behind us, but we're looking at them. I have never seen any more beautiful hats in my life. So let's talk about how you guys make them on site, and let's talk about how wearing the wedding hat is becoming a major trend for the new millennial bride.
Absolutely.
I mean, Summer and I were seeing that there's such a huge trend these days for hats. You're seeing a lot of different styles, unique, creative hats. And we're seeing brides start to move away from just having the traditional veil to having something, again, I think it's multifaceted, and that's what these hats bring.
Yeah, I mean, they want something different. We have a lot of, as far as style is, you know, and nowadays you have like the boho look, right? Or the Western look. And so these hats really work well for that. And so as far as like what we do, Jess and I both like to work with our hands. Jess is amazing at fabrics and embroidery. So all the embroidered hats we do, that's stuff that she works on. And then I work with florals. And so all the dried floral hats, I do those. And I mean, we do some mix-ups and collaborations.
I think that having those hats being able to be personalized for them, sometimes they want their vows stitched inside the hat linings, right? So again, it makes them really personal. And then having the color palettes all aligned, I think the other element that's quite different about our hats is that the veil is detachable. So you can have that dramatic view, you can still take it off, you can wear it to your after party as well, or even for bachelorette parties.
Or use it after, right?
Right.
For most weddings, you're gonna need a place for food, and our kitchen area is a great place for that. We offer options to bring in your own catering, or we can help you handle that ourselves. With our kitchen, we have this beautiful space here where you can set up drinks and small bites. We can even add in additional tables along the side to create a beautiful catering setup where people can flow all the way through the kitchen. And if you're hosting anything outside, we have a great way where you can come in through multiple doors and flow through. Beautiful statement piece.
I agree. Or be like me, just put the flowers in your hair.
Exactly.
So let's talk about food, glorious food. We have a venue with less than 20 people or about 20 people. Let's talk about eating. How do we seat these type of people in this smaller type of venue?
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that we really care deeply about is not really forcing people to blow the budget, right? And so one of the things that we do as far as catering is if people want to bring in their own catering, we allow that. Most venues don't, right? That's how they kind of penny pinch people and really force them to spend a lot of money. And we don't believe in that. We think it's pretty shady practice in all honesty. So we really want to make sure that people can bring in their own food and handle that themselves. Or if they really want us to do everything, we have several catering companies and restaurants that we work closely with that we can bring that in and do that for them. As far as seating is concerned, we have a couple options. So we actually have an upstairs studio that's large. They can do a large table. We can create beautiful tablescapes and do a seated dinner. Or we also have our back patio. And so if the weather's beautiful, we can actually seat them underneath there for a beautiful, more garden-scape kind of design.
Houston's coloring scene is amazing, and we're definitely seeing that translate onto the table for these brides. I feel with micro weddings, they're going all out on food. Whether you're having amazing barbecue or just having like 10-course dinners, that's something that I think all of our brides feel really passionate about.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about the house itself. So this house is an old 1902, and it's considered historically significant here in the Heights. And a fun fact for you is that this house actually used to sit across the street. So in 1990, the house was actually picked up and moved across the street to save it from being demolished, and actually did a full restoration at that point. So we're so lucky to have this beautiful piece of history that was really redone, and a lot of original portions, including the floors and the staircase, are all original to the house. Now, let's talk a little bit about this space specifically. So in here, this is our studio. So for weddings, we'll often use this for our dinner parties and reception dinners. And it's a great place to be able to sit down with your family and have a beautiful meal.
Seems like you ladies have it all figured out for these type of brides. So how can we find you on social media and maybe even your website?
Absolutely. So you can find us at our website is 1348.com, 13 spelled out, 48.com. And then for our social media is 1348 Heights.
All right, guys. Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you, Summer and Jess. I'm Antre'chelle, your toast of the house, your newscast for all your wedding needs.
So last but not least, welcome to our lounge. This is one of our more popular spaces here at 1348. For weddings, this is a beautiful and tranquil place for our brides to relax and get ready before the big day. And it's honestly just a beautiful place to take great pictures and enjoy the moment.
And thank you for watching this episode of The Toast, your newscast for all of your wedding needs. I'm your host of The Toast, Antr'chelle. Cheers.